Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chade Arena. Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Philadelphia, baby! I will never forget that massive riot that happened right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. There were fights, people destroying the city, someone eating horse poo, and then this. On top of all that, there are some of the best food, and of course the show Always Sunny in Philadelphia takes place there. There is too much good stuff going on there, but you came here today not for the best parts, but the scariest parts, and that's why I'm bringing you today's list of top 10 scary Philadelphia urban legends. As always, I would love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, stick around for the whole video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. If you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. And if any of you at home want some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, go check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do Facebook exclusive content. If any of you at home want some merch, check out the link in the description below. Use the offer code MA10 that will give you $5 off. That means you can grab a shirt for only 10 bucks, which is a sweet deal. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the Demon of Byberry Mental Hospital. Oh, let's kick this one off with a classic. Mental hospitals are a staple of urban legends. The Byberry Mental Hospital was a long-standing Philadelphia institution. It was opened up at the turn of the 20th century and was supposed to be a place where people could go to try and get help with their psychosis. But it quickly turned into a house of horrors. Stories of abuse, torture, and experiments swirled around this establishment until its closure in the 80s. Now it's just a rundown lot of where the building used to stand, but the tainted soul of the building has refused to leave. Many people have reported seeing ghosts and floating orbs floating around the property. This could be reminiscent of the people who were mistreated while they were forced to be there. The most ghoulish story that comes from this place is of a powerful demon that stalks the land. A shadowy dark figure with glowing red eyes that creeps around the brush, maybe feeding off the dark energy that was built in the area, or maybe it continues to torture the souls that are stuck in purgatory, never able to escape their suffering from this hospital. All in all, it's not a happy place. At number 9, we have the Philadelphia Academy of Music. This old-timey theater is absolutely gorgeous. There's a chandelier in there that's so big that if you sold it, you could put all of America through college. This place has made its mark as one of the most famous theaters in America, with having legends like Frank Sinatra take the stage there. And there are some ghosts in there that are so old, they probably remember watching the show. If you sit at ground level, you might not see any spectral action, but the people who choose to sit in the balcony get a full shot of everything going on down below. People have seen dark figures float through the background, felt a cold hand grab them, and even have seen butt prints in seats when no one was sitting there. Imagine you see a big ghostly butt sit beside you, and then you go,
"Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick, boy. That's a thick boy. Damn.
At number 8, we have the Pennhurst Asylum. This building still stands, and if you're a fan of getting the poop scared out of you, you should go check it out. Legend says that there are angry souls of the people who were abused at this hospital still haunting the premises, waiting to find someone they can take revenge on. And I can't blame it on them. There were not only reports of the staff of the Pennhurst Asylum assaulting patients, but also they would force the patients to fight each other. They started a fight club with people who were mentally unfit and trapped. There's a special place in hell for people like that. That is one of the most horrible things I could possibly think of. At number 7, we have the Philadelphia Experiment. When it comes to war, you always want to have an edge. The person with the most advanced technology usually has the upper hand. The Philadelphia Experiment was a demonstration of maybe the most advanced military tech we have ever heard about. It was back in 1943. The US Navy was running some experiments to try and make the ultimate stealth weapon, something that would not be detected by the enemy radar and could not be seen by the naked eye. And apparently it worked perfectly. The Navy was able to make the destroyer, the USS Eldridge, completely invisible. Word about this got out, and then everyone started freaking out, and then people started investigating it, and then it turned out that it was a hoax. But if I had just developed some sort of super top secret invisible boat, I would be like, yeah, I just made it up, don't worry about it. Like, it's not real at all, it's not the most advanced weapon in military history, just go to bed, don't even think about it. At number 6, we have the American Philosophical Society Library. Yo, these ghosts are haunting libraries? These ghosts are nerds, dude, nerd ghosts. Well, there isn't a ton of ghosts flipping books in these libraries trying to build up their GPA, but there is one very famous ghost that has caught the attention of many people in Philly. Apparently the ghost of old Benjamin Franklin has been seen around this library, probably reading about electricity and realizing how dangerous his experiment was. Just checking out the basic laws of conduction and was like, oh yeah, I should have died way sooner. Rumor says that he usually walks around the building carrying a stack of books. If you ever see him, you should knock all the books out of his hand like a bully in the 80s. At number 5, we have the Betsy Ross House. This isn't just one of the most important historical landmarks in America, but it's also one of the most haunted places in the entire country. The strange thing is, it's haunted by the ghost of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's studying for a role. I'm just kidding, it's obviously haunted by Betsy Ross. I mean, who else would be there? It's her house. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you have to give up the deed to your home. You know how long it takes to pay off a mortgage? She's probably like, I'm gonna stay here for the afterlife and the afterlife after that. Well, even though Betsy Ross should be pumped that she has a house to live in for the rest of time, she is actually very, very sad. While she was alive, she had to watch most of her kids and 2 separate husbands bite the dust before she did. This weighed heavy on her heart, and her ghost is still mourning. Some people who walk into the basement have seen her ghost kneeling on the floor, weeping. She still misses them even in the afterlife. Oh, that's so sad. Everyone watching, call your loved ones and tell them that you love them, or you're gonna end up a sad ghost. At number 4, we have the Christ Church Burial Ground. We got a double feature going on here. Now this is one of the most famous burial grounds in America, and why is that? Well, because one of the most famous men to come out of Philly is buried there, Rocky. I'm just kidding, Rocky's not a real person, we all know that. I'm actually talking about Benjamin Franklin, haha, these jokes suck. Well, apparently this dude haunts this place too. I guess if you're a founding father, you can haunt the whole city if you want to. Most ghosts are locked down to like a house or a basement, but this dude can float all over Philadelphia if he wants to. That means there's still status in the afterlife. So if you weren't cool in this life, you're not gonna be cool in the next. I'm sorry, I'm breaking it down. The legends about the hauntings at the Christ Church Burial Ground are that Benjamin Franklin will steal the change out of your pockets and then throw it at you. People have gone in missing quarters and have had pennies flung at their head out of nowhere, which is super rude coming from a guy like that. Back in his time, you could buy a house for like 11 bucks, so he should have a better value for pocket change. At number 3, we have the Cruiser Olympia. Ghost boat. You know things are going down when you put some ghosts on a boat. Someone get Samuel Jackson on the phone because I got a movie. Ghosts on a Boat. This is gonna be a good movie. Snakes on a Plane was so good. It was so good. This boat has some big ghost energy all day, every day, and for good reason. This thing used to be out in battle, so there are a few people who have lost their lives on board. There are even rumors that there was a murder-suicide on board. Ooh, that kind of stuff always gets the spirits going. If you're a fan of checking out ghost stuff, then you would be happy to find out that this boat does regular ghost tours during spooky season, and by spooky season I obviously mean October. People who go on these tours have felt the presence of an angry ghost, and some have even passed out from the stress. At number 2, we have the Demonic Inmate. The Eastern State Penitentiary is considered one of the most haunted and horrible places in the whole city. With a history of violence, torture, and horrible living conditions, it has created an aura of bad vibes that evil ghosts just love living in. You can go on ghost tours there, and if you do, you might come across the Demonic Inmate. It's said that there's a soul living in there that is much darker than the rest. It carries with it an evil energy that is impossible to ignore. Some people say when it gets close they feel sick or even vomit. People who see him say he looks horrible and he haunts their dreams for weeks later. So I don't know how high your tolerance is for ghosts, but you definitely need a high one to go on this ghost tour. And for the number 1 spot, we have The Charred Bride. That sounds pretty brutal. This takes place at the City Tavern, and guess what? This place has more ghosts in it, of course. There are 2 main ghost legends about this place. The first being that of a dead waiter who still shows up for work, and some guests have said they've even been served by him. And listen to me, I used to work in service, this guy's in hell. Being a waiter for your entire life after you die, that is hell. That's hell. He's in hell. The other ghost has an even more depressing story than being a waiter forever. The building was often used for weddings, and back in 1854 the whole place caught fire and was destroyed while a wedding was happening. This killed a lot of the guests along with the bride. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, if you want a place to become haunted, you just need to kill a bride on her wedding day. She turns into a ghost like that. Since then, the City Tavern has been rebuilt and is still used for weddings. Talk about some bad mojo. Now when people have their weddings there, some see a ghostly charred bride standing in the wedding party. Like, get your own wedding. Jeez, you're gross. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all for tuning in, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. It takes me a few days to go through all this stuff, like it takes me a while. I got so many of these, so if it takes me a while to get back to you, I am very sorry. And without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First, we have Hermine's cat. This little dude is so cute, just rolling around all like that. I love it. Next, we have Dennis's dog, Harry. I love how little Frenchies have the best begging faces. They're so cute. Then we have Dean's dog, Angel. A nice husky with a great coat. That's amazing for a beautiful guy. Tammy sent in a whole bunch of doggos. A bunch of little boys hanging out together. I love it. Mermad sent in a picture of Daisy. That's an amazing shot. You caught her like mid-slurp. And finally, Kent sent in Shelby. That is one of the best wrinkle boys of all time. Just look at her, I love it. She's got this scrunchy face and all the wrinkles on her face. I need it. I love it. She's so cute. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been Shade Arena, and I need to eat a Philly cheese stick while punching someone in the face, Philly style, and all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. Goodbye. Adrian!